Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, where ordinary heroes tell extraordinary stories during unique and never been heard before conversations with your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Hilary's unique listening and way of asking questions results in conversations that aren't usually talked about, so you can create the life that you really want but are afraid you can't really have. We are demonstrating the greatness in the human spirit and creating a world where we all reclaim our birthright of joy, happiness, purpose, and passion. Now, here's your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Roy Washington. He was in the Army. He's a podcaster and a radio personality, and he has a message for all of us. So welcome, Roy. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. I would like to know, I know I was looking at your background and you said you were a foster child and you ended up in gang life. Is that something you're willing to tell people about? Because I know, there's plenty of people that are in foster care, and I think you can give them some hope.
Yes, I was in foster care from the age of 2 years old. I was the third youngest of 18 kids born to my parents, and was given up for adoption at the age of 2. And still never met a couple of my siblings. Never seen my father. I went to his funeral, but I'd never seen him, and seen my real mother maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. So grew up in a loving foster home that brought me up in church, and but being a teenager, I did slip into the gang life a little bit. But that church upbringing is what kept me and brought me back. Later on in life, went into the yep.
So, okay. So did your parents have 18 kids together, or is
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. But the story is my dad was a drunk, and my mother couldn't take care of all of us together, so we had to go into foster care. But every time I seen her, when she come to visit, she would say that her dream was to get us all together and go back to Louisiana. I guess that's our home state. But I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So like I said, I've seen it 3 or 4 times in my life before she passed away.
And did she ever get you guys all together?
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, I think she had health issues as well. She really didn't look well whenever I seen her, but like I said, I really didn't get a chance to really get to know her like I wanted to, but
she had 18 kids.
Yeah, she had 18, wow. 2 sets of twins and a set of triplets, and the rest of us were single kids.
2 sets of twins. Wait, 2 sets of twins.
Mm-hmm.
And then triplets.
A set of triplets.
Okay, so that's 4 and 3 is 7, but she still, wow, I can't even count that. So 11, 12, 13, 14. She still gave birth 14 times, right?
Yes.
No wonder she had health problems, right? How could that's a lot for one body. And same man. So he just would get drunk, impregnate her, she'd have the baby, then they do it again, right? I mean, that's what I'm assuming.
I guess that's what happened, yeah. So
she couldn't say no or something, right?
Something.
You didn't know where so your siblings, were you with any of them? Did they go to the foster homes with you, or everyone?
No, I was pretty much by myself. Maybe twice. The person that was dealing with my case brought my siblings to the house that I stayed at, and I got to meet them, but I never really got a chance to have any relationship with them until I grew older. And one day I went through the yellow pages and looked up all the Washingtons, and just called every Washington in the Yellow Page, and most of them were my siblings, and I went to meet all of them. And uh, I'm probably I probably have a solid relationship with two of them, but by the time I did that, we were all grown and everything, and just some relationships wasn't able to be repaired or whatever.
Wow. So you were in 11 different foster homes.
No.
Oh.
I was in one. The
Oh.
the Dunlaps took care of me at the age of 2 and took me on to being a man.
Oh, okay. So you had your own adopted family.
Yes.
Did they have other kids?
They had some couple other foster kids that came here and there,
Okay.
but yeah, that was their main son,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh, I don't know where I got 11 foster homes. Okay, good. I'm glad you had one.
Or
So
no, I
they
didn't.
adopted you? Did they adopt you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. But you kept your last name Washington.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what about the gang life? What was that about, would you say?
Just some of my best friends that were, just hanging around with the guys in the neighborhood, and it got pretty rough, and just was attracted to the streets, and ran around in one of the toughest Milwaukee gangs for a couple of years. Even though your parents try, they steer you the right way. They try to, tell you what's right and wrong. But as a kid, sometimes you think that you're smarter than your parents, and so now I was a gang member, doing bad things, skipping school and everything like that. And
What were the bad things you did?
fighting and smoking, things like that. Trying to be cool, getting high. But mostly fighting. There was a lot of gangs in Milwaukee at that time, and so fighting other gangs and just hanging out, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, stuff like that.
Did anyone ever get hurt?
Oh yeah, no, in the fights, yes, yeah, people got hurt. Um, yeah, a lot of people got hurt. Uh, that's just what it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever get hurt?
Nope. No. No.
Now, what was the jury trial about? Was that about the gang life?
It was tied into it, and that's what made me leave the gang life.
Mm.
I was I remember that day I was it was midterm exams, and I was at school taking exams. This one friend of mine, I call him T. We were together all the time, and our parents always warned me this: he's gonna get you in trouble one day. And no, he's a good guy now. Oh, he's an amazing guy now. But back then, he was more street. He taught me how to fight and and everything like that. But uh, he he and another young man that I know seen a kid that we all went to junior high school with on the bus, and they robbed him of his wristwatch and something else. And me and T was together so much that people would think I was him and that he was me. And that kid swore up and down that I was there, and I wasn't there. I was at school taking exams that day. But that's what my mom them said. Hey, that gang life is going to get you in trouble one day. And I had to go through a jury trial. I even took a lie detector test and I failed it. So I just look at that as God saying, hey, we warned you, but no matter what you do, you're going to have to go through this. I'm not going to let you pass this test. You have to go through this. And I think that saved my life, because once I was found innocent, I was done.
So how did they find you innocent? Did you have proof that you were taking the exam? Is that how you did it?
In a way, but it was funny that they wouldn't let a lot of people testify for me, like the teachers and the teacher who that day got on my case for being too loud in the lunchroom between exams and stuff like that. People who knew I was at school. But I think what saved me, those same friends, T and the other young man, it was something that after a certain amount of time, they couldn't be tried for it. So they came and testified for me that I wasn't there. And I think that helped me out as well.
Oh, because the kid thought, because he confused the two of you, that you were
Yes.
the only one on trial? Oh my God.
Yeah, I was the only one.
And they weren't even tried. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah.
But okay, but it changed your life, so I guess it was good. So what
Yes, it
happened
did.
after that? You said, "Okay, I'm done with this crap. I'm done."
Yeah, I said I'm done, and I changed my life. Started becoming a A student in school, because up to then, this happened in my sophomore year,
Okay.
and so I flunked my sophomore year. I flunked for the first time in my life, because all we were doing was skipping school and going and playing basketball, and cutting class and stuff like that, hanging out in arcades. But after that, I got myself together and started, studying, and really, you know, uh, turn my academic life around as well.
Wow.
I was one heck of a basketball player too. The basketball coach who had wanted me on the team. I know those early years, my freshman year or so, but couldn't get the grades. I was too much of a knucklehead running around.
So could you get on the team after that?
Yeah, I don't think I pursued it after that though. I fell in love. I am and matter of fact, my first love, she called me the other day and said she always loved me, But she also was part of that turnaround and said, "Hey, now that you got out of that, it's either me or the gang life." And she was my first love ever, and I wasn't going to. She was my heart.
Oh. How long were you with her? I guess you didn't get married, right?
No, you didn't get married, but I was with her from freshman year all the way till we graduated. Then I went into the military, but we continued to be a part of each other's lives throughout the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so freshman year of high school you're talking about.
Yes.
And then you graduated high school, you went into the military.
Yeah. Went
So
into
you
the army.
enlisted? Did you enlist or were you in like an officer thing?
Oh no, I enlisted.
Okay.
Yeah, I enlisted the summer before my senior year. So my recruiter was checked up on me all during my senior year, and he even came to my graduation.
Wow.
Yeah, and like 3 days after I graduated, I shipped out to a boot camp,
And where was that?
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, but they call it Fort Lost in the Woods.
Lost in the woods. Wow. So, but I guess you were in shape and stuff. You survived it, obviously, right?
Yeah, but it was tough. You didn't get a moment's rest for 8 weeks. And my father, he died of cancer. He was on. We had the cancer bed and everything in the house when I left for boot camp. He was feeling okay. Maybe 2 weeks later, I got the call that he had passed away. And then it was funny. The night that he passed away, I was in my bunk with in the room with the other guys in my bunk, and you know how you can be awake but
Mhm.
still half sleep, and something was moving me to the edge of the bed. I was on the top bunk, and I was dropped from the top bunk to the floor, but it was such a soft landing, such a like a feathery landing, but it made the sound boom, and everybody woke up, and everybody started laughing once they figured I was okay. And I was laughing. I jumped up, got back in the bunk, and that's morning. This happened at 2 a.m. So later on that morning in formation, they pulled me out of formation and sent me to the captain's office, and he told me that at 2 that morning my father had passed away. So I had to leave and get my dress greens and go home to bury my dad and be strong for my mom.
Now, what home was that? I thought you never got back with your family. So,
No, now when I'm talking about home, I'm talking about my foster parents. They don't that those are my parents. That's who I look at as my real
oh,
home.
your foster parent
Yeah,
died.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. So, so how long did you get leave for?
A week. I
Did
didn't
you,
couldn't stay too long. You didn't want to fall too much behind. So I think it was a week, maybe 3 or 4 days, something like that. No, then went back home. Well, I mean, went back to base to finish my boot camp.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that was your dad letting you fall on the ground?
Probably his way of saying bye, but like I said, it was such a soft landing that I wasn't hurt at all.
And it was right at the time. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Exact time, yeah, exact
Right?
same time, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay. All right. So did you have to pick? I know I used to do consulting. We had an MOS, like
Yeah.
whatever. What was yours? That's your occupation, your code
Mm-hmm.
or something? Military occupation code? Is that maybe what it is?
Yeah,
Or S,
I believe
whatever.
that's what it was. But
Yeah.
I went in as a 76 whiskey. Also, I was a petroleum supply driver. I drove the 5,000-gallon fuel tankers. But then while they were while I was in there, they combined 76 whiskey with 64 Charlie, which was a cargo truck driver, and created 77 Foxtrot. So that was my new MOS. And like I said, we drove the big 5,000-gallon fuel tankers, and was able to refuel any type of vehicle, aircraft, you know, uh, during wartime situations where we knew how to break everything down and camouflage the tankers and refuel vehicles.
How big is the tanker? I mean, what is
Yeah,
it? It's a truck? It's like a
yeah,
truck?
yeah. It's a 5,000-gallon fuel tanker, so it's probably a little longer than a city bus. The tanker itself, but then you got the truck that hooks into it. So yeah, it was pretty long vehicle.
And you drove those. Wow. Now, are those like, would we see those on the highway? Are those what we see that are filled with fuel, or are these like
Yeah,
really big?
the big round tankers.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The
And
same
weren't you
thing.
scared with all that petroleum in there to blow up or something? Or you
Uh,
just get used to it?
you
Oh,
get used to it. Yeah. I mean, you have to. That's the once you're in the army, you got to do your job. You know.
right.
So, yeah, it was some scary moments. Some very scary moments.
So did you get shipped out after that? Like
After,
to
after
overseas?
no, I never went overseas.
You didn't? Okay.
After I served my time, when that was time to re up, if I re upped, they was going to send me to Germany, but I decided to stay home and pursue some music with my best friend. Because once I started getting paid from the army, I started buying equipment and sending money, and he started buying equipment and stuff, and so I came home to Milwaukee. I didn't want to be overseas, but I was going to go to Germany if I had re upped.
Do you know where in Germany?
I don't know where. No.
Because I did some consulting with the army.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Washington, D.C. at the time, and we were in Heidelberg, which was really beautiful. That was the headquarters of the U.S. Army Europe.
Oh,
HQ
okay.
USAREUR. HQ USAREUR, yeah. It was great. It was a great time, but we didn't have to do boot camp, we didn't have to do
Oh man.
stuff. So it's like we got the army life without the hard stuff. So it was great. It
Yeah.
was all right.
And
So now, okay, so tell me a little bit about your music. Were you always playing music growing up? Like what did you play or did you sing?
no, I was a rapper, but I sang in the growing up. I sang in the choir, in the youth choir.
Oh,
Yeah, in church. It was like I said, they had me in church. They brought me up in church, so I was junior deacon of the Sunday school, usher board, youth choir, and I also became a member of. I was the youngest member of the Wisconsin Community Choir, which was a recording choir at the time, a well-known recording choir. So like I said, a lot of that church was kind of saved me as well. Just coming up in the church and really having some moral values.
okay. Now I gotta ask this.
Okay.
When you were in the gang, did
Hmm.
you like that was Monday to Friday and then you went to church on the weekends? Or did you stop the church? Like, how did that work together? Here you are doing bad stuff with the gangs and then you have this church life. What would you
Just to
talk?
know, yeah, just that, because back then we didn't have video games and all that. A lot of, we were outside a lot. When you came home from school after you did your chores, ate dinner, you go outside. So My friends, I connect with my friends outside or in the weekend and during the summer.
Yeah.
We'd be outside. And it wasn't like it was steady gang stuff. We just hung out. We played a lot of basketball. We go to different courts around the city and play ball and stuff. Just kids hanging out. So it wasn't always gang. I think it was some guys who was probably a little more deeper into it than I was. But yeah, we was always outside. We just nowadays kids are inside with the playing video games and stuff. But
Yeah.
back then, the girls was outside playing jump rope and hopscotch, and we were playing tag, and we're just all over the place, riding our bikes on our dirt bikes, riding out to the lake, and it was fun.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on the weekends you were still in the choir and you were doing all your other stuff, and then you were outside during the week. It wasn't like you were like this schizophrenic, bad
No.
boy, and then singing like an angel on the weekends, right?
Yeah. And then plus during the school week and during the school year, we couldn't stay out too late, because you had to be up in the morning to go to school. So, I think I may have had an 8 o'clock curfew on during the week.
Oh, okay.
But during the summer, it was a little later. But I don't know if you ever heard people say that your mom used to say, when the lights turn on, I better be able to see you out when I look out the door. So when the street lights come on,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So we had to
And
be.
what years were that? What years?
1984, 83, 80. I graduated in 85. So the 1980s, early 80s, as I was as a teenager growing up.
Okay.
And then I graduated in 85. So, yeah.
Okay. Because, yeah, I mean, I've heard that from people, like you just played outside. Now you'd be kidnapped. Do you know what I mean? Like no one
Yeah.
lets kids out of sight because they'll be kidnapped. I mean,
Yeah, it was much different then. We were all over the place. But
yeah, kids.
when the street lights came on, if my dad or mom look outside, then all my friends and all of us lived kind of across the street from each other, so they better be able to look out the door and see you out there. So if not, you had
The city? Were you in the city?
Yes.
City. Okay.
Yes.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yes. Much different city now than it is now. Much different.
In what way?
It's even more crime now. I don't know if you heard of the Kia Boys. The Kia Boys, they're nationally known. They're young kids that steal cars and joyride and run from the police, and all kind of destruction and stuff like that. And then, like you said, the kidnapping, everything like that. I almost was kidnapped. So Milwaukee was a very, very peaceful big city when I was growing up.
How were you almost kidnapped?
I was I lost my bus pass one day, and instead of asking my dad for bus fare to get to school because I knew I was going to hear his mouth, I decided I'd walk to school that week. And maybe the third day of walking to school, I mean, that school was a few miles from the house, so I had to get up very early. It's still dark outside. And once I got downtown, there's this big street, Water Street. It's the main street. This white guy pulls up, older man, and he has like a camouflage jacket on in a blue sedan, and asked me if I want to ride. I said no. He asked me again. I said no, I'm fine. And if looks could kill, he would have killed me. He peeled off angrily, and then another blue sedan came maybe a minute or so later, and this time it was a black gentleman with the same kind of army fatigue thing on, and he asked me. Well, he didn't say nothing to me. I don't know if he was sizing me up. He just drove real slow along the pace that I was walking and just stared at me. Then he pulled off. So then something in my head said, "It's better run right now." And I ran, and it was a big open field across the street, and with a lot of pallets. I think it was some yard where trucks made shipments, and and I got behind some pallets, and I seen those cars tearing up and down the streets like they was looking for me. So I think the third time wouldn't have been no asking. I think they would have tried to jump out and grab me. but I listened to their voices saying, "You better run right now." And that's what I did. And I stayed hidden for about a half hour until it started to get light and trucks and cars started to, the city came alive. Then I walked on to school, and I think I was able to get away to school for the next couple of days of that week. But that was a very scary situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you listened to your voice. What do you think? I mean, what do you think they wanted?
I don't know. I guess they probably kidnapped me or whatever. And then, this is around the time of the child murders down in Atlanta.
Oh.
So I mean, maybe I would have been face up in the river or something, face down in the river.
Oh God.
I don't know what would have happened, but I think if I was still on the street and in plain sight with that third time, they probably would have been together, and they probably would have tried to check out. And yeah.
Now, did you ask your dad for the damn bus pass after that?
He never knew. He never knew the story. And I think something happened. One of my friends was able to find a pass for me or something, but I would have asked, but I was able to get a pass or something. So I was good for the rest of that week, because at school we got a bus pass for the whole week, so
Oh.
I was able to get a hold of something. So then I was fine.
Ugh, scary. Woo.
Yeah, that was very scary to have some grown men stalking you, like what, it's probably about 5 a.m. or something. Yeah, and you're a kid. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you had good instincts because, like I saw, I think I heard it on Oprah that people, like they get scared or they think they have to be nice or they don't want to get the person mad, so they go along with it. But the thing was, never go to the second location. So, like you were right to run because once they take you to a private location, that's it,
That's
so
it.
never go to the yeah. So your instincts were right. But I think, like I would think, oh my God, I don't want to get them mad. Well, that could be the death. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you need to take care of yourself. So it's a great lesson for people.
Yes.
Trust your instincts. When you feel like that something is off, like you ran, that's amazing. So
Yes.
congratulations. Yeah. But you never told your parents? You never told anyone?
No, they never heard that story. And so that's something, if they had gotten me that day, nobody would have known what happened to me,
Right.
Yeah. But so I'm thankful that that I think that was God just telling me, hey, get out of there now, run. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Gives me the shivers. Okay. All right. Wow. That's an amazing story. Okay. All right. So we've gotten you. Okay. So that was school. That was the difference of like the church. You were in the church. We were talking about your music. So you were a singer. Did you play also an instrument?
No, I never played an instrument. I never stuck with it. I was in harmonica class when I was in school. Well, I didn't. I was all right with the harmonica, but I wish I had stayed with it. I maybe would have graduated to saxophone or something, horn or something. Yeah. And then I had a guitar when I was a kid. I never really learned to play it. But yeah, my best friend, he was amazing with the instruments. So I used to rap and everything, and he could sing, and we made some great music. And he could play by ear. He didn't know how to read music, but he could just play by ear. He was just amazing.
So he would play, and you would come up with the lyrics.
Yeah.
Just like boom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Can you remember any?
Well, I remember any. Yeah, it's a song that's popular now that we wrote back in 1991. It's called "Secure the Hatch," and the first verse is picture a battle that's fought inside the dome. Two spirits so different, they rise up to take on the other, one satanic and cold. And he will take you home if you try and fight alone without the spirit. Repent without hesitation. Turn away from the dark and desolation of a life spent slipping, tripping into damnation. But if you try and can fly, it'll be a new creation. Walk taller than tall, you can't be fake. Now you feel the power with every breath you take. When temptation comes up, survive without a scratch. Secure the hatch. The snake got the apple and wants you in his grass. You better man up, square up, jab, and hit him fast. refuel on God's love. That's gas to help you last. Mistakes of yesterday dissolved into your past. It's a song called Secure the Hatch we wrote in 1991 that I redid in 2020. And we shot a music video for it. And that day that we shot the music video, it brought a lot of people together, a lot of people of different colors and everything that seen us shooting the video. And they came and jumped in and they wanted to be a part of it. And it was a great bonding experience, that day.
And now I think we could take our commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll get the rest of the story. All right. Hey friends, it's Hilary, host of the Getting Real with Hilary show. And I want to get real with you for a moment about something we don't talk about enough: brain health and immune health as we age. I recently learned about daily brain care from Dr. John E. Lewis. And what stood out to me is that this isn't hype. It's science-backed and clinically proven. Daily brain care supports cognitive function and memory, reduces inflammation, balances the immune system, and even helps increase adult stem cell production, which plays a key role in how our bodies repair and regenerate. When your immune system is balanced, your whole body works better. You handle stress better, you feel healthier, and you function more like your younger self. If you're serious about taking care of your brain and your body, check out Daily Brain Care at drlewisnutrition.com. Hey friends, it's Hilary, and I want to share something that genuinely shifted how I see modern and contemporary art, and honestly, how I see the world. If you've ever felt like modern or contemporary art just wasn't for you, like you were supposed to understand it before you could enjoy it, you're not alone. And that's exactly what Robin Jameson turns upside down. Through innovative tours, talks, trainings, and educational programs, Robin doesn't explain art or tell you what to think. She guides you into actually experiencing it, personally, directly, and in a way that is powerful, moving, and even life-altering. She's also the author of The Magic of Modern Art: How to Love Modern and Contemporary Art. And what she shows people is this: you already have an innate affinity for all types of art. Through Robin's work, you are awakened to more than just a new, confident, and joyful relationship with art. You begin to see everything with fresh eyes, feeling more curious, open, and alive in the world. If you're looking to create a powerful, memorable experience for yourself, museum, organization, or community, visit magicofmodernart.com or email Robin, ROBYN, at magicofmodernart.com and discover what's possible when art and life truly come alive. Okay, so how did you learn to rap? Was it just natural?
I think I was always good with poetry. So I always did great in like literature class and those type of classes. I always could write good. And then when I was in the military, I met a young man from New York who was a rapper. His name was Tony Bartley, and he taught me. He kind of took me under his wing, and we became really good friends. And so my very first ever performance was in the military, and in front of hundreds of generals and colonels and their wives and everything. And so that's what really got the ball rolling. But yeah, he was a great rapper. And so yeah, from New York. New York is the birthplace.
Yeah. So rapping is, I guess you got the background. I mean, because I don't know it that well, but you got the background music with the beat.
Yeah.
No melody. You're just talking in rhymes.
Yeah, in rhyme on beat. Yeah, along with the beat.
Okay, right. Rhyme on beat. Okay.
Yeah, on beat, yes.
And does it just come to you, or do you have to sit down and put it together? Like, can you just like boom?
For a beat, sometimes it was just like boom, just especially with my guy Jay, rest in peace, my best friend.
Mm.
He whenever he knew the kind of beats that I liked, and when he did some piece of music and let me hear it, it's just like it talked to me and told me what to write. So and then I always would pray to God before I start writing and say, God, guide my pen so that I can write something effective, because one thing about us, we never really cursed in our music. Our music was always clean, but it was just as great as anybody else's, and then we always threw some positive mental knowledge in there about God and about yourself, and so that our music was always inspirational or you'll call it conscious. We always had conscious music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was a long time ago that you started, 1991, before
Yeah.
consciousness was a thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You had a lot of, that's back in the day, what was, you had groups like NWA and stuff like that. But, Eric B. and Rakim was always my favorite. And, LL Cool J and, Run DMC, those guys, they did they started everything, some of the forefathers,
And was that ever danced to? I mean, did people dance to rap, or did they
Oh
just
yeah.
listen, or
Oh
'cause you
yes.
have to beat, right?
They dance to it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just got rap music has a great beat to it, and part of the hip hop culture was break dancing and stuff. So you had those movies like Breaking and Beat Street. The graffiti, the break dancing, the DJing, the rapping, all that's hip hop culture right there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I think
If I gave you shivers with that one story, I got another story that'll give you shivers.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay, again, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. Let's hear.
Um, Well, one early one Saturday, my daughter, who's amazing right now. She was a child then, little toddler. Um, her 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 mother and her best friend had to work that morning, so I went over to her best friend's house with my daughter Shonda and that young lady Wendy. Her son was there, so I was babysitting so they can go to work. And then back in the day, when I used to listen to music, I used to always dance to it and act like I was singing and lip sync and everything and work up a sweat. That's how I used to like to listen to music. And she had a great music selection at her house. So it's this it was wee hours of the morning, and they're going to work, and I'm there the kids asleep. I'm dancing to the music, to her CDs, and Keith Sweat, Run DMC, all the stuff she had. And I stop because I feel something evil. And I look, and I was standing in front of a big picture window while I was dancing in front of this window. I don't know, but I didn't, I'm probably about 40 minutes in, and somebody across the alley had been watching me, and 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 then they ducked back, and then it scared me. I ducked back, and I could feel nothing but evil. And then for maybe 2 minutes, we played the peeking game. I peek out, and they'd duck back, and they'd peek out, and I'd duck back. So I said, I got to get this window closed. I bear crawled to the other side where the ropes was, and I closed the window up, and I felt just evil. It was cannot describe it. A year later, the Jeffrey Dahmer story comes out, and that's the building he lived in, the old Oxford Apartments. That's the side of the building his window was at, and I,
Oh,
and I believe to this day that was Dahmer watching me that morning, as I was dancing and play, with the music and everything. I believe that was him watching me that morning.
but he didn't go after men, right?
Yeah, he liked men. He killed men. Yeah,
Oh, he did?
yeah.
Oh, I thought he killed women. Oh my God.
Now it's been said that he probably killed women when he was in the military. I think he was he in Germany somewhere, and a lot of people came up missing during the time he was there. So that's so they say a serial killer kills who they can get a hold of. So I think if that's true, he probably killed women when he was in the military. But in Milwaukee, he killed a lot of men, by African American men.
Oh.
I felt whoever was looking at me that day was going to come over to that building and try to come to the apartment. So I remember I got a knife and I sat there. I was scared and just listening to any sound I heard in the hallway, but it never
Yeah.
happened.
And
But
the
yeah,
kids were sick. Wow. I
yeah.
heard a story that I thought it was Dahmer, but who knows which one it was. It could have been someone else, but she went on a date with this person and she saw like their face got odd
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, whoa, like same thing, like she just felt it and she ran to the bathroom, called her brother picked her up, and then the next day she left early, but the brothers saw this guy outside and I guess scared him away, but
Mm-hmm.
she could have been one of his first. I mean, stuff like that. So you got to trust your instincts, people. When something seems off, leave, get out. Right? Anyway, all right. So we got about, I don't know, 10 or 11 minutes left. So when you came back from how long were you in the military for?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. And when you came back, what did you do then? You became a rapper?
Yeah, yeah. Became a rapper on the underground scene, and we rapped it in. Of course, I had to have a job, holding down a job, and yeah, it was a great time. And since then, I've become a radio personality. I was voted third best radio personality in 2019.
And what's your station? How do they find you?
I'm on River West Radio 104.1 FM. River West in Milwaukee. Then I was on WGLB, which was a gospel station. I was on both of those for about 3 years. I'm just now returning to River West Radio, and a 4-time award-winning podcaster of Quest Nation.
Oh, and what do
Yeah.
you talk about?
Paranormal. I interview a lot of musicians.
Okay.
Because that's what I came from. So I interview a lot of musicians who wants to get their name out there, and we talk about everything, spirituality, all kind of topics. I think tomorrow we're talking about ice.
Oh, who do you have coming on?
Archbishop James Cloud. He's an exorcist, and then he also was a mental health professional and all that. He's been on my show the most of anybody. I've been doing my podcast since 2015, and he's been on maybe about 40, 50 times because
Whoa.
he does exorcisms of houses and everything. He's amazing.
Wow, I had a guest who does that.
Yeah.
I hired her when some family members were going into the hospital and she cleared out all the negative stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's
powerful.
pretty intense. Yeah. I had one day, right after I had interviewed her, I fell twice at 2 different clients. And I said, can you check that out? And one of the places had some bad stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, it wasn't you. It was this negative energy. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah. But hey, if it works, that's awesome. All right. So they find you. Where do they find Quest Nation?
You can go to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, Spreaker.com, and that's where I'm at. And I think I'm also on from Spreaker. I'm also on some of these other radio places. You can find me on Instagram, Novelist 2019, and Roy Washington on Facebook. On X, which was Twitter, but it's X now. Smooth Novelist, at Smooth Novelist, all one word.
Okay. And is your book? I know you were writing a book. When is that coming out, or did it?
The production is stopped right now. I'm still writing it, and and they're contacting me to help write. I'm looking at it maybe next year.
Okay, so they can't get that yet. Okay, but they can find all your other stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of things in your life so far, right?
Yes, and I owe it to the Dunlaps. They brought me up good and took care of me.
Yeah.
From over 2. Yeah. So yeah, that's who I consider my parents, and they're both gone. But I was blessed to have them when I was giving up.
Yeah. Did your other brothers and sisters end up so lucky in families? Do you know?
Not as lucky as me, but I think I have two sisters. I'm the third youngest. I have two identical twin sisters who ended up pretty good, and I'm really close friends with one of them, Ariana and Ariana. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school, they were new. They came to the school during my senior year. They were new. They were freshmen, I think, and I didn't know they were my sisters, so I was along with all the other boys, catcalling them, trying to, hey, baby, how you doing? No, I didn't know who they were.
And then you found out they were your sisters? Oh my
I
God.
found out after I went to the Army. A young lady who I was dating became good friends with them, and she put all the notes together and said, "Oh, you know what? That's your brother." So yeah.
Wow. All right. So what would you say is your main I mean, obviously you're a radio personality, you have a podcast, you're a rapper. What would you say is your main thing? Like your message? Like what
I'm a mentor.
accomplish?
One of my main things is being a mentor. I worked in a Milwaukee public school system for 10 years, and so a lot of those young people, it was, to me, it was more than just get to class and breaking up fights. I was a security officer, but just taking time to become a part of their lives. And a lot of them now, they have kids of their own and everything, but I still have tight relationships with a lot of those former students, and so I'm a mentor. That's my main thing.
Hmm.
Mentor somebody that that they can look up to, and and I in turn learn from them. You're never too old to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you still doing that now?
Yes. I have. Matter of fact, some of them work with me at the job I work at now. I got them jobs there. So, and a lot of times if they need me, somebody needs me or need some help or something, I'm always there. And
So you're still at the school, at the public
no,
school?
no, I'm not still in school, but but those students, we through social media, we stay in contact.
Oh, okay.
So if they ever need something, hey, Mr. Washington, so and so and so, and then I have a lot of them on my show too. If they're doing big things in life, or they went on to become entrepreneurs or doing big things, I have them on my show to spotlight them and to show them love for what they do. So, and they always tell me that, hey, when we were in school, we always knew that we could count on you, and that continues to today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is you I don't know if this is a personal question, but how do you make money from the radio and the podcast and stuff? Is that your not career, but your like where you get your income, how you survive? What helps you do that? Because I'm sure other people would want to know how are you doing it?
Well, with Sprecher, you have commercials that play during your I forget the word for it now, but you have commercials and stuff that play during your podcast, so you get a little money for that, But I haven't seen anything really life changing as far as that money, but I get a little bit from it. But I'm still a hardworking individual. I still work security,
Okay.
third shift, Sunday through Thursday night, third shift, and I'm blessed to still be able to work. And maybe I retire in 2-3 years, maybe 4, and so I'm still living a good life. I'm healthy enough to work, and I'm blessed.
Okay. So you did have, because sometimes I think when people want to go in music or whatever, and they think, that could support them, maybe it can, but you also had another job so that you could pay your bills, right? You were a responsible
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when we were young, when we were really doing our best music, we didn't have the internet like we do today. So yeah, so that was something you had to really get on the radio, and then back then you had to know somebody. So we stayed underground, but if we had the internet back then, there's no doubt that I think right now we'd be looked at as one of the greatest hip hop groups ever, with the music that we put out that was just as good or been better than what was on the radio.
And what was the group?
We call ourselves Demolition when I got out of the Army. And
Okay.
then we changed our name a couple of times when we went gospel, and we called ourselves Forgiven.
Oh,
And then toward the end, when we came back some years later, we called ourselves Prime Example.
so what does underground mean?
Well, just basically just unsigned. We were unsigned artists and underground. We did a lot of shows in the city, but we weren't signed to a label or anything.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and so you also have a lot of groups like that even now today that they're not signed, but they do just as good music as people that you see on the Grammy shows, on award shows and stuff like. They do great music, but they're just not signed by a label. And now with the internet, I mean, it's even better if you can go without a label pimping your music. You can put it out yourself, and if you're able to do that, you can put it out yourself now. So the game has changed.
So if people wanted to find your music with all these different names, what's the best way for them to find it?
To find my music,
Yeah.
like I say, you go up, look me up on Facebook,
Okay.
and on Instagram. You can DM me. If you look me up, you can DM me.
Okay.
And I'll send you my last EP. My last EP was called the Final Ingredient. I did it in 2020. It was a great EP, 6 songs, and I'm working on another one with a guy that does all the singing on my tracks. His name is Griff. He worked with Drake. Before Drake became one of the biggest stars in the world. He's from Toronto. He's from Toronto, Canada. So we're starting a new EP this year. But yeah, just EP.
What does EP mean?
It's kind of like LP, like remember people had an album, they call it LP, but EP is just like a smaller version of maybe 5, 6 songs, maybe 4 songs. That's an EP.
And how do you sell it? Just digitally, like people download it?
Yeah. The people go on SoundCloud and everything and get. I don't charge for my music. So like I said, if somebody wanted it, I mean they can go on, they can see clips and stuff on my social media. And if they send me a DM, if they message me, send me their email, I'll be happy to send them the tracks from my last EP.
Wow. And why do you do that? Just to get the message out?
Yeah.
That's very generous. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we're on our last minute. I know we've talked about this a little bit, but what last words would you want to leave people with? I know you had said something about never giving up.
Yeah, never giving up, because a lot of times you hear horror stories about foster kids and things that they go through, and I mean, and I think I could have grown up bitter, not having my family, not being around my siblings and everything. But you dealt the cards that you dealt with, and you just make the best out of your life. You can't waste your life feeling sorry for yourself and throwing a pity party. I could have done that, but I didn't. I kept moving, and I think I made a pretty good life for myself. If I died in the next minute, I'm pretty proud of what I've done. I've got 2 beautiful daughters. They told me the other day they're proud of me, and so that's what it's all about. And I left them with knowledge and a great work ethic, and they're going to make good lives for themselves. So I'm a success story. I may not be rich, but I'm rich in other ways, and that's the best way to be.
Thank you so much, Roy. It's a beautiful story. Thank you for being an inspiration and really just learning from everything and listening to that inside voice to keep you safe. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed it.
Yes. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching this episode. I started getting real with Hilary when I discovered that I was a people-pleasing, pleasant phony and wanted to be more of my real self. We can grow together if you will like the show, subscribe to my channel, and share this episode with your friends and family so that we can have a world that's more real.